First one from A Cash. He asked me, what prevents people from reaching their goals, mainly from what you've seen? And this is kind of go back to what I was just saying, but it's hard to be good, guys. It's really hard to be good at something. Okay, and I mean like good at like a competitive level. Okay, you might think you're good right now, but you got to look at where you're playing. You got to look at going forward. Can I remain good? Can I still be good going forward? It's hard to do that and consistently do that. But even harder than that, I mean, the hard part is actually putting in the work necessary to be good at something. Like that's the hard part because it's not just a one-time thing, right? You can't just buy it. You can't just go work at your job and then bring home some money and buy the ability to be good at basketball. It's something that you got to do every day. You got to you got to work at it every single day, and that's hard. But again, that's the key part, guys. It's all about the work, and not just doing the work, but good work, efficient work that's effective. Again, going back to what I was saying about the perimeter score system, you got to make sure the work you do is actually effective and it's efficient too. You're not just spending time on the court, not doing, not actually getting as good as you possibly could. I think what it comes down to is that the players who succeed are the ones who are able to withstand being uncomfortable for long periods of time. Okay, they develop the mental toughness that it's required to get up every day, go to the gym, and work hard and give 100% every single time. And that's difficult. And I think the players who don't succeed, I think the players who don't reach their goals are the ones who can't commit to doing that. I think those are the players who, they can do it 3 times a week, but they can't do it 4 times a week. They can do it 4 times a week, they can't do it 5 times a week. I think the guys who succeed in the end are the ones who can do it every day. The ones who can say, listen, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times this week, and they stick to it, and they go 100% the whole time. Because like I said, that in itself, I think putting in the hard work is one thing, but putting in hard work consistently, that's the hard part. That's the part that 90% of people just aren't very good at. And again, that's the reason why you'll see such a discrepancy at the top. You see a guy like LeBron James, where it's like, man, this guy can literally do everything on the basketball court. Obviously, incredible athlete. But guys, there's a ton of incredible athletes out there. There's a ton of guys who are great athletes who never make it in the NBA or they're role players. Why is LeBron different? Why is LeBron? I mean, I think he hit 30,000 points, 7,000 rebounds, 7,000 assists. I mean, no one's ever done that before. Why is he able to do that? I think it's because LeBron, over his entire life, has been able to put in consistent hard work every day. He's been able to put in the hard work that guys do. Obviously, everyone in the NBA has put in some degree of work, but he's been able to do it consistently at a level that nobody else does it. And I hear a guy like Richard Jefferson, who obviously a former teammate of LeBron James, won a championship with LeBron in Cleveland, was talking about how LeBron, the way he approaches basketball is just different than everybody else. It's just different. Like the intensity that he approaches his preparation with. Obviously, you guys have probably heard about how LeBron puts like $1 million a year into his body, just with different like recovery and all the stuff that he does to be prepared for the grind of the NBA season. That pays off for him. He's willing to put in that consistent work, really invest into himself. That's what makes him different. Because a lot of guys aren't willing to do that. A lot of guys would rather spend $1 million buying, an extra vacation home in Florida, as opposed to putting that $1 million into being the best player they can possibly be. And that right there is the difference. So, we talk about just the importance of being committed enough to put in that work over, a long stretch of time. I think LeBron is a great example of being able to do that. And I think at the same time, players who might not succeed, I think it also can go back to not a clear vision. Again, I talk about the importance of having a vision, why you need to know where you want to get to. Okay, but a lot of players will say, I want to be good. I want to be great. What does it mean that you want to be great? Like, what do you want to be great at? What are your actual goals? Where do you want to get to? Okay, what do you want to win? You got to ask yourself that. Players who have that in their mind, who know, like, this is what I want. I have this goal in my mind. This is what I want. This is where I want to get to. They're going to be the ones who are able to put in that consistent work. So you want to know how to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and how to actually be able to put in that consistently hard work, you have to have a vision. You have to know, this is what I want, and this is what it's going to take. So I'm going to lay it out. Okay, I want this. I know that if I want that, I'm going to have to put in this amount of work. And then you got to stick to it. That's how you get that sort of consistency. And I think that players who succeed are the ones who have that. I think players who don't succeed are, the guys who don't do that. So, and that kind of leads me into my next point, which is essentially like many players, like, they just don't have the perseverance to succeed. So I look at a guy like CJ McCollum, for example. I think that's a great example. He obviously a 3-star recruit out of Ohio, out of Canton, I believe. May or may not be right, but I think he was out of Canton. And ends up going to play at Lehigh University in Pennsylvania, which obviously not known for its basketball, but has a great career at Lehigh, and ends up getting drafted. First basketball player to ever get drafted at a Lehigh. Gets drafted by Portland, goes there. Actually, he got hurt his senior year, gets hurt as a rookie, so misses a lot of time as a rookie. Gets back, ends up in the G League to start. I think it was the D League at the time. And so, the guy who gets drafted, he's playing the D League now, isn't getting minutes in the NBA really. All of a sudden, as a second-year guy, starts to get a little bit of playing time. He still isn't starting, but, he works his way up, becomes a starter, and then, now we look at it now, CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, that's one of the best backcourts in the NBA. So CJ McCollum goes from a guy who couldn't get NBA minutes to now we're like, oh yeah, him and Dame are whatever, a top 3, top 5 backcourt in the NBA. And the funny thing with CJ McCollum too is that he has yet to make an All-Star team. I actually looked at this the other day. He has not made an All-Star team yet. And his numbers are good, but he's kind of been a victim of where he plays. Like, he plays in the West. And there's a lot of, just incredible guards in the West. So he hasn't been able to make a team yet. But here's the thing, guys. Like, just seeing how CJ McCollum has overcome everything from being a 3-star to going to Lehigh to then making it to the NBA, from being the first guy to ever do that, to then, after that, becoming a starter in the NBA, like winning most improved player in the NBA. The way that I've seen him progress, I think at some point he'll take that next step, and he's going to be an all-star. I just think from the work that he's put into this point, you can tell that he's built like that. Okay, a lot of guys aren't built like that. A lot of guys are not built to overcome that sort of adversity that they're going to face. I think players who can put in consistent work, and then when they get hit with adversity, they get hit with injuries, they get hit with lack of playing time, they still find ways to overcome it. And again, all starts with the work that they put in. So they put in the work. Whether or not they see the results right away, that's not the issue. They're committed. Like, you know what? I might not see it right now, but down the line, this will pay off for me. I think that's what separates the players who don't make it from the players who do make it. What I'm doing is I'm actually going to give you guys part of the 20 points per game blueprint. So I'm going to give you guys, it's about a 13-minute video, and in that video, I explain defender control. So how to control your defender, the 2 ways that you can score off the dribble specifically that you can kind of repeat. And so now, you know what to look for. And the 2 moves you need to develop to be able to actually do that. So that's kind of an all-encompassing video. Even if you don't end up getting the full thing, it's going to help you out. So I would recommend that you guys do that. If you guys are interested in that, I'm going to put a link to it in the description below. So go ahead and check that out.